All right. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to our little hot topic chat. This is going to be so fun. Thanks, Dean, for hosting everybody, and thanks for getting everything set up for us. We're going to introduce ourselves first, and then we'll kind of dive in real quick. But I'll go first. I'm Jackson. My handle's Disneyland Man Instapics, so that's not a mouthful.
I'm Dean. I'm Dean's Parks and Vibes.
Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm Rope Drop Ready on all socials.
Hi, I'm Jonathan, and I'm Nathan_MC131.
Cool. Awesome. So today's topic that we're going to try to discuss is an interesting one that I think is on the minds of a lot of Disney Parks fans recently, and it's, are the parks losing their originality by including, by building new rides that are based solely on IPs, right? We're seeing a lot of rides now that are built just on IPs like Zootopia, Better Together, or any of those rides, and we're losing a lot of older rides that are not necessarily based on IPs. Something like Dinosaur would be a good example, right? I don't think that one's IP based. If it is, no one remembers it either way. But yeah, it's something of that nature. So we're just want to talk about that and discuss it. And I'm happy to open this up with, I've been looking into a lot of research about Epcot right now. I've been really into original Epcot in the 80s and the 90s. And that's such a unique vibe, and there's a lot that goes into that. But I've noticed what a creative place it was because of the non-IP rides. Like, you had the Seas, and you had Living with the Land, and you had whole pavilions that were non-IP themed. You know, you had Wonders of Life, which is controversial, but you had Wonders of Life, and you had all these different things, and it created such a unique park. And I honestly think that was better than what we have now. And I know there was things to be tweaked, but that's kind of my stance. So somebody shoot me down.
Well, look at World of Motion. World of Motion. That was an amazing ride. I know, like, what's come after a Test Track is still pretty good, and it's still kind of their original version. But yeah, I think Imagineers, you got to let them do what they do best, which is imagine. And if they keep hold and said, "Oh, we've got this movie that's made so much money, you've got to get it in the parks," then you're not letting them do their work. I mean, look at how they're forcing Cars Land into Frontierland.
Yeah, in a Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, that is getting rid of that area is so sad.
You go for it.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I think in a way, I personally only went over to Tom Sawyer's Island like a couple of times. And what we're going to get once all of that work is done, if we're going to get a Villain's Land, if they build it full out and they give us like proper e-ticket rides, I'm not opposed to losing that, but I don't know if they've chosen the right properties to go in there, because Cars sells a lot of merchandise. I love it at DCA, and it was nice. It had its own brand new, amazing.
I'm surprised they haven't chose Hollywood Studios for Cars Land, with it being like the radiated frames. I'm unsure on this Piston Peak area. I'm intrigued. I'm really excited for it. Don't get me wrong, but it's that whole area was so picturesque, and I'm a bit gutted because I'm not going to see it now, and I didn't really get to explore it the last time I went, so I'm like picking myself.
Yeah, I think the sweet spot with IP attractions is that the storytelling and the theming is so good that it doesn't need to rely on an IP. Does that make sense? Like, when I ride Tower of Terror, I forget that it's the Twilight Zone, and that just makes it better. But it can stand on its own, you know. Like,
and the one in is it Tokyo doesn't even have the Twilight Zone, does it?
No, it's just haunted elevator. Yeah, it's just And
it's gone in California. Guardians.
Yeah, it's another Marvel takeover. Although I suppose
I love Guardians, so it's like.
I think as long as Tower of Terror wise, as long as they keep what they've got at Hollywood Studios and that doesn't get touched, because that's the original. You've got the I don't know, the passageway in between from the lift to the next drop lift. I think it would be a sad day if that one gets lost. But the other ones, because they're all kind of built on a budget, just up and down. I'm not too fussed if they get changed. I mean, we've got that whole new Spider. Well, it was Spider-Man, but now it's the Avengers going into Hong Kong Disney.
Is it?
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're building that new drop ride over there. So it's going to be a drop ride based system, but it's going to be an Avengers ride from the start. So they won't have to redo Tower. Right, okay. I think that's based. It was kind of low key. There's like 2 pieces of concept art for it. I think that's based on
as soon as I'm go ahead, I'm going to be on that. How have I missed that? Wow. Okay.
Well, there was an original piece of concept art like over a year ago that had you were going through like Iron Man's laboratory, and Peter Parker was showing you around, and the lift went up, and then Spider-Man cast his web and saved your elevator from falling, and there was Doc Ock above. And then they released another one like 2 months ago where it's Thor, Black Panther, somebody else. It looks like it's what's the land from Thor? It looks like it's Asgard.
Yeah.
So my thought is maybe the lift walls maybe of screens, so it can kind of transport you. But I don't know. They haven't really said much, but they've started the groundwork on it.
Ooh, that's exciting. I just hope it's not all screen based and there's like practical sets and stuff. Because I feel like right now they're reliant on these screens and it's taken away. You need the like practical elements. You need that good balance with it. So. And
you need more than one audio animatronic in the ride.
Yeah.
Pandora.
Yeah, for real. I think that's something that's also interesting is like, because I've heard really interesting things about that new Zootopia ride, the new attraction, not a ride attraction, because that took over Bug's Life, which was definitely a classic, but it's seen its days. And I agree that it was probably time for somebody. It was like 20 years or something that thing was there. It's so long.
It's not that popular Bug's Life either, so I understand why they've done Zootopia.
Yeah, and now I think that was a
Bug's Life land in California for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. There was a Bug's Land, and then they paved it over, and now it's Avengers Campus.
Yeah.
So,
but even that, if you think of what they've done to it, they had all these wonderful practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
We had Flick and Princess.
I've not seen it yet. Yeah. This was the one thing I was going to not watch beforehand.
No, I'm on about the original in the top to be
with the Zootopia one coming.
Yeah, down
Flick, Princess Atta. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like they have these wonderful practical effects that they've replaced some of them without saying too much. But there's a lot of effects that they're just not using.
Missing loads and effects, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
a couple of extra ones like bubbles and water spray and things, but like
a famous one. Sorry, Dean. Like one of the famous ones from that ride was when the termites left, right? And the seat would actually do this, and it would simulate them leaving in the wood benches. And I remember everyone talking about that, and I don't think that's incorporated in the new one. And I'm kind of sad about that because that was a really unique effect, and it's that kind of thing that I'm sad we're losing. But it seems like, I don't know.
Even better, the spiders, when the spiders dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Terrify everyone.
Down. But yeah, it's completely stuff like that. When you're kind of forcing, well, it feels like they're forcing an IP in. I mean, fair enough, Tokyo's done all the money again, and there's nothing to represent it. But wouldn't it have been better to have waited and done a whole area, not they've got in Shanghai Disney, but something their own spin on it. Because that's the thing, if you get all of these carbon copy rides, then the parks are just losing it. Look at how many Frozen lands or Frozen rides.
Yeah. Well, when I was making notes for this, I noticed that the last non-IP ride was Mystic Manor in Hong Kong, and that was 2013. So that's the last one that wasn't an IP based attraction.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a long time.
Yeah. And I think that's another. I think Frozen brings up an interesting point, because I think the popular opinion to have, or like something that I've seen a lot of people get mad at, is, oh, you took out this original ride and brought in an IP. And like Maelstrom to Frozen in Disney World is a really good example. Maelstrom was a really weird ride, and it was made on like a really tight budget. It didn't make sense, and it was not getting foot traffic. Frozen Ever After is consistently half an hour plus wait time, like maybe 50 to 60 minutes, you know? And it's arguably a better ride. So that's a really good example of a good substitution.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that gives people a chance to go to Epcot, to be fair, because I don't think a lot of people with younger kids do.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Known as like the more dot park.
Yeah.
Well, I used to hate going there as a kid, to be honest. It wasn't my favourite thing. It was a bit like...
for sure.
When you get older and they introduce like the Food and Wine Festival.
I love Kid Cot though. That was so good. Have you ever done Kid Cot?
I forgot about that.
I still have the like the mask things you had, like you decorated them and then stamped them all. And the passport.
Yeah, I do remember
I'm going to
that.
do the passport again. That was so fun.
I was one of the stampees there for those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Where we would rotate from to and from. But yeah. I think they still do the passports though, don't they?
Yeah, they still do the passport, so I'm gonna try and do that again. Reminisce.
I think another so as we go through these ideas with IPs versus originals, I think one thing I've noticed too is that I wonder about how IP attractions will last in the long run. So, like, my example is something like Guardians of the Galaxy, like either one in DCA or in Epcot. They're really great attractions. They're really fun. They're really well themed. But I'm worried about how they're going to last, because you have these actors portrayed in them, and we're going to watch those actors get older in real life, right? We're going to watch Star-Lord become an old man like Harrison Ford did. But at the same time, that's how we know them in that galaxy, in that universe, is as Star-Lord. But there's examples of this, like you find Indiana Jones, right? And we don't think of it as Harrison Ford because we see him on the ride and he's like this young guy and we think of Indiana Jones. So that answers that question for you. But I wonder how they're going to hold up to time. Like, and it makes me wonder, because Indiana Jones, say, at Disney World has, and it's a solid, it's a classic, it's not going anywhere, it's a great ride. But something like Guardians in California Adventure, I wonder if that'll be around for another 20 years or if that'll be torn down eventually, you know?
Yeah, it depends on popularity as well. Like we've seen with what we just said about Bug's Life changing into Zootopia. Bug's Life wasn't as popular anymore, so they've done Zootopia. So it might be that they keep doing that. Whereas like with your non-IP stuff, you know, all of those, they're standing the test of time because they're so iconic. Like the Haunted Mansion and stuff. And they've inspired movies as well. And this is what we're finding with Pirates as well. Is like they were the original and then they've inspired movies. So I don't know.
I mean, if you think of like the quality between, well, say Pirates of the Caribbean and then what you've got in Avengers Campus, which just feels like, just literally a campus with a couple of rides, nothing really unique about it, nothing magical, whereas Pirates and like the whole Adventureland, it really takes you somewhere else, which is why it stands the test of time. Like those elaborate, detailed scenes with like all the audio animatronics and everything.
It feels more exclusive. That's what I thought as well. Like you can watch films anywhere, but you can't get those sort of attractions anywhere else. You can only get that when you're in a Disney park, like your Haunted Mansion or stuff like that, or Expedition Everest. Like you can't watch that on a film unless. You know, so you're experiencing stuff that you can't really at home, which is good with the non-IP stuff.
I mean, when you think back as well, like when they built like Tokyo Disney Sea, they kind of felt like they threw out the rule book with that, because pretty much the majority of the lands were their own thing. They didn't really have any IPs, but then over time the IPs have started creeping in. Put in Nemo. It just almost feels like the parks are being dumbed down a bit, because they're forcing, they're kind of forcing all the known IPs on, and you don't really get anything that special, because you can go to another park and probably see some of the same things.
Yeah, I think what I think about the most is the word timelessness when I think about a really great attraction, because you think of Pirates and it's timeless, right? Like, you enter this world, you're completely immersed, and there's nothing really there to ground it to anything. It's just a fantasy, right? And same with Haunted Mansion. Like, the graveyard scene is a bit 60s, like 70s, like, because it was written then, which makes sense. But like, for the most part, those attractions aren't rooted in a specific moment in time. And that's what really turns me off about Avengers Campus, because I go there and I'm like, this just feels like I went to a university in New York. Like, this, it just feels like concrete. And I could see this anywhere, But when I go to Cars Land, I'm not only like, oh, this is Cars, like the movie. I'm saying this is such a unique moment where it's sort of like this world that they built. And I don't really know where it is. I don't really know exactly when it was, but I have a rough estimate. And so, like, I know when I should be. But I think that's something that sets apart an attraction to stay and to sit around for a while versus one that is going to get rebuilt eventually. And I think it's timelessness.
I think with some of the non-IP ones, like one of my favourites is Phantom Manor. And I love how it has its own storyline and lore, and then you can research into it and stuff, and you're learning more about it. And every time I go in it, I notice a new detail that I've never noticed before. Whereas when you're on like one where it's an IP, you're just like looking, oh, there's that character that I love, or stuff like that. I don't feel like there's more in-depth stuff in non-IP attractions rather than IP ones.
Yeah, and also, carry on. No, go on.
Well, I would agree with that, because if you look at attractions that are based not on an IP, but that don't have like a depth of story, they're not around anymore. Like, there was 2 or 3 major attractions in Wonders of Life that are like cult classics, but they're not around anymore because they just got old and they just didn't hold up. Like, Body Wars, zero lore. It's just like, you go in, there's a body, you go out, it's done. Like that, it was so stupid and simple. And so there was nothing to like get interested in. But with Phantom Manor, or what was it, Mystic Manor? Which one was it?
Phantom Manor in Disneyland Paris.
Yeah, with Phantom Manor,
Mystic Manor as well. That's got like a whole thing.
Yeah. But either one, they have so much to dig your teeth into, and they're so unique. And I think I totally agree with that they're different for that reason.
But I also think when they tend to do an IP, it's either they're doing a book report IP, or they attempt to go off the book report, and you get something so tepid, like Tiana's. As much as I like Tiana, I'm not dissing it. It's good. They've got on the whole, all the audio animatronics are working and things, and it's pretty to go on. But like, it's got like almost a zero storyline. Oh yeah. Let's get that.
Yeah, the storyline. I was shocked with how they did that, because before they actually announced that, I did a full. I was proper into Imagineering phase, so I did a full plan of how I would do that attraction before it was announced. Because there was like little rumours that it was going to be replaced, so I was like, oh, it's got to be Princess and the Frog. So I went through the whole Princess and the Frog movie, I went through the whole ride, and I was pinpointing where I'd place things, and why they didn't use Dr. Facilier at going at that bit. And I wrote it all down, and I wish I published this and put it online before that happened, because now it just looks like I didn't even do that. But I've got it written down, and it was literally a few weeks before, like in 2020. And I wish they just did the movie, because it would have been so much better. And I've missed Dr. Facilier. That's all I've got to say about that ride. I've not even been on it yet, but that's what it's lacking, is that kind of like ominous presence in there.
It absolutely no sense. You would have put him at the top of the lift hill.
Yeah.
And that song was it?
Friends on the Other Side.
On the Other Side, yeah.
Yeah,
because it used to be all like spooky with the vultures and stuff for Splash Mountain. And it
there used to be anticipation. Like, it was a moment of like they would build and build and build, and then you'd fall, and then it was great. Yeah, but now the ride's like, oh, it's a bayou, and there's animals, and we're all singing all the time. Everybody gather an animal, and then they're all in the end, and everyone's dancing. That's the whole thing. It's just a celebration the whole time. It's not interesting.
And I think it's because it was meant to be based on the TV show they were doing for Disney Plus.
Right, okay.
Because that's why Moana 2 happened, because it was meant to be a show.
Yeah.
So I do think we would be like, oh, this makes more sense because of the show that's now being canned.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Interesting. There's like context we're missing that we might not get. Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah,
because I do remember Anika saying the song and the ride had clues for the show at the time when it was coming out. The ride was getting finished.
I do love the song. I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised that wasn't on my Spotify Wrapped.
It just, they just don't. I don't know, the IP rights. I don't think they have overly a lot of substance. I mean, as much as I love Cosmic Rewind, like the Imagineers openly said that they were going to put together a ride about the creation of the cosmos, and then they were told that they needed to put Guardians of the Galaxy into that. So, at least that's what I seem to remember of hearing.
So interesting.
It just kind of, it doesn't all make sense. Makes me a bit worried about the Encanto ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure
it makes me worried about. I'm worried about. Speaking of IP-based attractions coming out, I'm worried about the new Indiana Jones ride because that track layout. Because Dinosaur, if I have my math right, Dinosaur came first, and then Indiana Jones in Disneyland came second, right? Is that true?
It's the other way.
Is it the other way?
I think so.
Okay, so either way, their track layouts are pretty similar if you look at them from a top down, which worries me because I don't think they're going to copy paste Disneyland's, but I think that they're going to have a hard time making that ride not be what Disneyland's is, because everyone's going to ride it and they're going to be like, oh, it's an ancient temple, we're on a Jeep, and there's Indiana Jones. Like that. That's the premise they have to have if they're going to keep that track the same, right? So if they totally redo that and they still have the Jeep, which they should, I think that's a concern. I don't know. I just think that's going to be hard for them to pull off without making it just feel like it's a bad copy, which I'm worried about.
Yeah, I think they'll probably put they've got to put loads of money into it, haven't they? Because they know that everybody's watching. Sorry, I've just fact checked. So Indiana Jones opened in 95, and then Dinosaur came in 98.
Oh, yep. So it is the switched. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, even like Disney Adventure World, you're kind of there bringing in the IP, and they're retheming a swinger to Up and things. I know there's not much you can do with a swinging ride, but
I don't know. I think the thing I'm seeing is like a lack of commitment, for better words, like because they're retheming these rides and they're building these new rides, but they're not taking the risks that Disney used to take with their other rides. You know, like when we look at things like Indiana Jones, there's all these brand new effects, and the reason why half of that ride is kind of black walls is because they ran out of money, right? Like they had all these effects and rooms planned, but they just kept using too much money, which is typical Imagineering. But I think that ride was a winner because of what they tried to do and because of the risks they took with that ride. Like that queue is almost a mile long, but it's one of the best queues in a Disney park, I think. So they took a risk there. They're like, okay, this is a huge part of the park. It's really long, but it's going to immerse you in this world. Is it worth it? And it was. And so I think that's been the hardest thing to try to decide is the fan base of the Disney parks and the typical park goer probably makes it hard to take that risk now because it's such a unique crowd and a hard thing to build a new attraction.
Yeah, I mean, like they build attractions now and they don't even have enough room for the queue. So like sometimes like the queue only go in outside, and that I don't know. Sometimes, not all the time.
Yeah. What are everyone's thoughts on? Has everyone rid the Ratatouille ride? Has everyone ridden that?
I've seen
A
it.
million times.
Yeah. So all of us ridden it. Jonathan, you've seen it.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it.
What does everyone think of that ride? Because that's kind of a middle ground for me in terms of IP and originality.
Okay, so I absolutely love it. I'm a big Ratatouille fan, so
Okay.
anything they do that is Ratatouille is going to win me over.
Okay.
However, I think they need more practical sets within it, because obviously sometimes you just see in the screen. What I do love is when you're like underneath the, I forgot what you call it now.
The
when
stove or something?
You've got the wheels.
Oh, the cart.
Moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cart. When it's moving the wheels, I think that's really good. But there is some instances when you think there needs to be a little something. Like I said with the screens before, there needs to be more practical sets. And like, I'm hoping because they're refurbing the one in Paris at the moment, that they are going to add in more practical sets, they did say. So whether it's going to be like the fridge scene and like with all the big food, I hope that's going to be more of that.
Yeah.
But I love that ride so much.
I like it, but again, there seems to be a lot of 3D rides.
Yeah.
I'm saying that, but the one in
They've
Paris
got rid of the 3D
glasses.
now and on both of them.
And Florida recently,
Yeah,
but
which
what
I loved.
when I say 3D, I guess I mean like screen based. I mean,
Yeah.
thankfully Disney's not as bad as Universal with all of their green ones, but yeah, I prefer proper practical sets, and I know you get some of that with Ratatouille.
Yeah, I wish there was like animatronics in there. Maybe just like the end bit where it's the restaurant bit. If Remy and Emil were animatronics and the rest were like in the background screen, just that kind of compromise. Add something else. That'd be cool.
Yeah, like similar to Tiana's Bayou, right? That ending scene where it's half
some
and
of the
half,
screens,
right?
Yeah,
Because it's still not my favorite, but at least my mind can latch onto something practical that's in front of me. Okay, like that animatronic's really great, and those are astounding. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's a bit like the Avatar boat ride.
I haven't ridden that actually.
I haven't yet. No,
Okay. Well,
it wasn't even built last time I went.
sorry.
to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, temper your expectations. It's relaxing, but yeah,
I'm still gonna love it. I know this is what happens. Like, I might be saying about these things, but I absolutely adore all these attractions.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I heard somebody say, because I was like, oh, like, should we go on all, because I haven't been on any Avatar rides yet, and I've heard Flight of Passage is amazing and I want to ride it, but I've heard that River Journey is just like okay, and like I heard a couple people say just ride Pirates instead, like it's just better. And I thought it was an interesting comparison, but I was like, okay, that tells me that this boat ride does not live up to the expectation that Disney had set with Pirates. And that's kind of sad because that animatronic seems incredible and the theming seems amazing, but I'm kind of bummed that it's not having a good rep. And I think that's interesting.
I think hopefully they'll use the next movie and what's being taken to DCA to rectify their mistakes on it.
And possibly Paris, from what we've seen with the night show little float thing. I don't know the name.
Barge?
Yeah, that's the one.
Barge.
This is the thing. I'll be talking about things, and because I know I'm being recorded, I'm just forgetting every word ever.
Fine.
That's all right.
But But yeah, it says on it, it's like Lion, Racer, Navi, and Frozen.
Oh,
So
okay.
we might get Pandora Land in Disney Adventure World.
Adventure World.
Still an awful name for it.
Yeah, I don't know why they chose
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I get it,
Adventure
but
World.
it's just, yeah.
And they keep giving that part love, which I understand it needed that. But
Well.
you got Disneyland Paris there that hasn't had a new attraction for like 22, 23 years.
Oh my gosh, that poor park. It's had such a hard life.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, if we're getting Universal in the UK, they'll want to put money into it to compete against it.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is pushing them to do Lion King rather than the proposed Star Wars Land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they should expand Discoveryland and add Star Wars there.
Oh, 100%, yeah. It's been rumored about for years. But
yeah, and there is space for it, so...
Yeah.
And then they can make Space Mountain, not Hyperspace Mountain anymore.
Oh
Bring
my
it
gosh,
back.
Please bring back From the Earth to the Moon. Please. That was such
Yeah,
a
and I
good
think they should
ride.
put the Tokyo Disney Sea 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Journey to the Centre of the Earth, that kind of area. Have that with Discoveryland as well. That'd be cool.
Oh, that would be
Because it worked
wonderful.
with all the Jules Verne stuff.
100%.
So
Yeah.
that's my proposed idea. Disneyland Paris Society.
But they've got Frozen, so they can't add that, so they'll probably add Zootopia next, because that's making all that money.
Yeah.
That's true.
It would be
But
nice
it
to
with
get some...
Disneyland Paris is they don't get all the budget that the other parks do. It's always been the case.
So
it's
weird.
Now that they're owned by Disney, fully owned, hence why we've got the cash injection for the studios. But, yeah. I think it'll be telling to see what Disney Abu Dhabi turns out like. Whether that's packed full of IPs or whether they'll get any original attractions that are kind of skewered towards Abu Dhabi, like their customs and
Did
things.
they give anything in the concept art? I'm trying to remember. Was there anything? It was just kind of like colours.
It was
and
very
Yeah.
Very
Frozen
vague.
Castle, it was all very kind of
Because even the castle, I remember it weren't looking like a castle. It was like a
It's like a tower.
swale of some sort.
Yeah.
I think I'm sure I heard somewhere that they said that they're using the castle that's in the next Frozen.
Oh,
Even more
interesting.
Frozen.
Yeah,
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
that's what I heard anyway, but we'll see.
Is Frozen that popular? Like, I didn't think it was that popular.
I don't feel like it's that popular.
No.
Like, it was at the time.
Yeah,
That's
but the
true.
first one was it 2013?
Yeah, 10 years ago it was everywhere. But I think what I think it is, it's them prepping for this trilogy 2-part epic Frozen 3 and 4.
Yeah.
That's what it seems to be. That's what they're doing.
I don't know how they can make any more from that story.
Yeah, we said that 3 Toy Stories ago, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it
Are they
came
bringing
up-
like an iPad in this one?
Yeah,
Is
Yeah,
it-
in 5.
Very interesting from
yeah.
a writing point of view, and it's Andrew Stanton, so I'm like, it's all right. He's won Oscars. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm
gonna
sure
work,
I'll
it's gonna
love
work.
it.
Yeah,
It's going to work.
Well, they're paying like the voice cast of the leads around 60 million each to film, to record Frozen 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So it's got to be pulling in the money if they're getting paid that much, and that's not including any voices for future attractions or anything. That's just to record the 2 minutes.
Wow.
Gosh, maybe I'm in the wrong business.
All rethinking our life choices now.
Yeah. Voice actor.
That's the other thing. If you kind of build these IP attractions, and then if they're going to release more movies, then the attractions kind of end up a bit dated, because if they have kids or anything in the films, like, what are they going to do? Overhaul the ride, which Disney don't tend to do that often.
No.
Well, that's why this Avengers multiverse ride seems to be screens, so they can go in years later down the line and take things out, which I find
That makes sense.
interesting.
Change up.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's the beauty of a ride like Star Tours, because you have this incredibly immersive attraction, really well done, really cool, but you can update that thing in like 4 seconds, because all you have to do is make a new film with new characters, put it in the mix, and you're solid. Interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's brilliant,
Never thought
actually.
about that. Yeah,
Me neither.
Quite easy. That's
Do
why
you- okay.
most things are screens now. But overall, really, we've just said that we need a balance. We need non-IP and IP attractions. That's the way to go forward. We need more non-IP stuff.
And if they're doing IP needs to be quality.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same imagination as what they used to give the originals.
Yeah.
And stop repeating rides at all the parks. Give us a different thing. Because if you just go into different parks to find the same rides, you're going to end up...
Yeah, people aren't going to travel
exploring.
to all these other parks.
You need things that are going to make it special.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you guys for joining us with our discussion on IPs at Disney parks. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below your thoughts about Disney parks and are they losing their originality. Guys, in the next one. Bye!